Be blessed by the divine. May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. Be blessed. Dear Sky friends, it's my pleasure and privilege to extend a cheerful welcome to you for the Alia Zoom program in English, which is being organized by the World Community Service Center, Alia IT team. Your presence makes us feel very blissful and happy. Our Guru Yogiraj Sri Vedatri Maharishi stresses that for a mankind to live in peace, the society has to adopt reforms in four major fields, which are social reforms, political reforms, economic reforms, and respect to the womanhood. Development in any one of this field alone cannot guarantee for peace and harmony for any society. Hence, reformation is in social, economical, political, and spiritual field together can only help the society to live in peace and harmony. One of such aspect is the reformation in marriage. To talk about reformation in marriage, dear fellow meditators, please join me in welcoming our guest of speaker today, Assistant Professor K. Kavita Madam from Chennai. Welcome you, ma'am. Professor Kavita Madam has pursued her MA in Mathematics and MA in Yoga for Human Excellence. She has been rendering her divine service in Krompet Radhanagar Sky Trust. Ma'am is highly interested and she is spending her whole time in spreading our Vedatrium to the mankind. I now request Assistant Professor Kavita Ma'am to deliver her speech on the topic Marriage Reformation, her experience. Thank you so much, ma'am. Valga Valamudan.
Thank you, Ma. வாழ்க வளமுடன். Be blessed by the divine. Awareness increases the willpower. Willpower increases the power of thought. Thought force activates the physical body, and eventually the results are produced. What a wonderful saying this is by Aruthandai Vedatri Maharishi. Being aware of the self, being aware of the surroundings, being aware of the society, and being aware of the interlinks between all these is the first step of a journey towards spirituality. This is not a diverging journey, but a travel to one's self and realizing what is truth. Today, I am blessed to highlight the value of Vedatri Maharishi's guideline on reformation marriage and the powerful yields that we could get of it. The yields that we get from the reformation marriage are manifold, priceless, and highly potent that could even change one's life, leaving no impact to the surroundings. A lack of awareness of the power of this method of celebration may create destructive questions and opinions like, how can we get rid of our customs and traditions? What would our relatives and neighbors say if we not do a grand function? Marriage is a one-time life event, should be of grand celebration, right? Why I alone should do and stand out? It is difficult to do such a drastic act of changing. All these worries, reservations, and doubts arise due to lack of awareness. In reality, the Reformation marriage ceremony is simple. It's effortless. It's graceful. Even the purpose of Reformation marriage celebration is to generate the simplicity with no impacts to the surroundings and to any individuals. As said, the Reformation Marriage Act not only a reforming way to marriage celebration, but also to the souls engaging in such a graceful celebration. I am standing here as a live example of it. I am here in my spiritual journey, reformed from my childhood quests. I would like to share my personal experience of how our marriage happened a decade and a half back, following Vedatri Maharishi's Reformation style, and how it is accepted by our family members and others and what are the benefits we garnered from the same. Promising no rambling, let me walk down my memory lane, recalling, a very quick recalling of what kind of person I was in childhood and what were the thirst and answerless questions I had during those days. I was born as a first child to my parents during early 80s and brought up in a traditional Brahmin community with no hindrance to my education and well-being. But there were many puzzles that I undergo, be it little or big. I still remember my schooling days when I was studying my third grade at Satya Sai Primary School. I was very much gravitated to Sai Bhajan that happens every Thursday at school. Maybe because of laddu that was offered during the bhajan, or maybe the greetings and blessings by saying Sai Ram whenever we meet and greet a person. This particular act of greeting was weird to me, but I liked it. Thursdays become my favorite day. On my Hindi class, I was told Thursdays are called Guruvar, meaning day of Guru. I was bit confused of this name. As a confused child, I still remember my question to my dad that why is there a separate day for Guru? My dad clarified that they actually represents the planets and not to be confused of teachers. Then arose a different question. There are 9 planets and why there are only 7 days to commemorate only 7 of those? My dad's response to my question was funny and he said, it's difficult to handle you guys for 7 days a week. It would be more difficult for us to manage if it were 9 days. I was flattered to be a cheeky daughter there, but the question resided on me. 2 years later, we got shipped to a new house and hence a new school where meditation was practiced as a mandatory ritual at every morning before we start the day. I was ignorant of what was going on with greater difficulty of sitting idle and focused for that very short duration of time. My friend next to me, seeing my uneasiness, clarified to me that this is meditation and this is a part of our daily routine which enables us to focus on studies. I was contented with her retort but surprised to notice the meditation time again at the evening before calling it a day. What could be a reason for meditating at the end of the day? My very friend couldn't help me this time. However, I continued practicing meditation at school days habitually, but the question resided on me. Maybe due to positive impact of this habitual act, I was blessed to place my foot at Temple of Consciousness Oriya at the age of 14. My family and I were at Pollachi for visit to our relative and plan was to visit a few tourist attractions in and around the town. The plan on that day is to visit Monkey Falls. My little brother and I were excited to go to falls and fascinating towards the name of the falls. Our relative took us to Temple of Consciousness, which is on our way to the falls, which was not in our plan actually. We went inside. It was an open ground with no appealing things. We went inside Omkara Mandapam, where there was a big lotus, probably the only attractive thing to me and my brother. We were playing, circling around it, when we stopped by a person and asked us to be silent, as people are meditating inside, and our act of making noise might be disturbing them. My brother and I went outside and waited for our parents to join us before we headed to Monkey Falls. Being naive at my young age, I looked for attractive things but didn't know what the real need is. My mom was physically challenged person. The reason I use was because she is no more. She got a leg fracture on her leg which was already attacked by polio. The life became increasingly challenging and I got to pursue my degree in distance education, taking care of my mother. Hospital became my college. I carry my books to hospital and study sitting beside my mother. I happened to meet an interesting person in my life, a nurse who attended to my mom. I don't even know what her name is, but I still remember her. On seeing me worried, she asked me to chant Valka Valamudan as a blessing to my mom. I was baffled and not at ease in doing that. I was even angry and mad at her. Why she is asking me to greet someone when they are in trouble and struggling in pain? I was unenlightened and ignorant to understand that act of chanting was not an act of greeting, but an act of blessing. Whenever I see her, I try to avoid her. That's my way of showing anger. I took a shortcut through rampage to escape from her. I felt accomplishment of dodging her, but the confusion of greeting versus blessing resided on me. As days passed, my mom's health condition was not promising, and my parents decided to arrange for my marriage, but in vain. My mom passed away in Jan 2004, and our family was in distress. Per our tradition, it is considered good if we do dhanam, the act of giving post death happened in the family, and the most superior of all dhanams is Kanniga Dhanam. That is, giving the daughter to bridegroom is considered as the best thing to do. Hence, my dad and our close relatives decide to arrange for my marriage within 6 months of my mom's demise. One of my uncles, who works for a newspaper company, advertised my profile under matrimonial classifieds. The very next day, my profile got advertised in Tamil newspaper classifieds. Interestingly, at my husband's place, they don't buy a daily newspaper. One of their foreign neighbors got delivered with this Tamil newspaper mistakenly on that day and were given to my in-laws' place by them, as at least they can use it wisely, thereby given me the chance to enter his home through that newspaper. Being excited for reading newspaper after a long time at home, my in-laws did read every article at every column. On seeing my profile, my in-laws started their usual negotiations to my husband on the marriage proposals. My husband was very reluctant to ceremonies and even was avoiding to marriage to move away from ceremonies. He and his sisters are practices of Vedatriyam for many years. They joined in Manavalakkalai, got Dikshay, completed introspection lessons. My husband blessed to get the Brahmanyanam and master course from Swamiji directly and also attended 30 days Maunam at Arya with him. He is very fond of reading Maharishi's books, even read them sneakily under his CA academic books. He then came to know about Maharishi's Reformation marriage and wanted to do his marriage by Vedatri Maharishi's Reformation marriage method. As there was a strong opposition from his Orthodox family, he was a bit detached from his family whenever marriage proposals were made. This time, his parents were a bit assertive to get him married. They took 2 to 3 brides' horoscope to the astrologer to find a match, which included my horoscope as well. As horoscope matched, they wanted to proceed further, asked my photo. Even before we sent one, we got his photo. And to our surprise, he appeared at our door front. I was out that time, but he made clear to my dad that his visit was not to meet me in person, but to meet my father. My husband said to my dad that he didn't bother of physical appearance and all he wanted is to get married in Reformation marriage way. My dad was perplexed by his demand, but attracted by his approach. My dad was seeing himself on my husband. My dad recollected how he approached my mother's parents for his marriage proposal. My dad wanted to get married to a physically challenged person and support her. So my dad was moved by my husband's proposal and at the same time confused what the Reformation marriage is. My husband explained him all about it by highlighting it's made for simple, that's cost effective, made not to trouble bride's family, it's made not to detrimentally affect the environment, no dowry, and to avoid unnecessary rituals. Those wonderful explanations and gestures of politeness convinced my dad to accept his proposal. Our marriage happened at Salem during July 2004 under the blessings of Vedatri Maharishi, led by Senior Professor Veda Subbaya sir. On seeing the Orthodox family members with 9 knots Madisar saris, Veda Subbaya sir asked my father to ensure that everything is okay. My dad assured him all okay and won't be any issues. Now, the ceremony started with prayer to the Almighty. As every event, the marriage started with a short prayer, then welcome address to welcome everyone portraying our culture. Wedding event pattern, a short description of the ceremony method. Blessings from parents, then Vartutavam, then chanted Dana Akarshana Sankalpam, then marriage oaths. Even the oaths are very simple. According to the Government of India Marriage Act, I, Satish son of Vaidenathan, agrees to marry Kavita, daughter of Kalyanasundram. That's it. Then Mangalan Sutudal, exchange of garlands, blessings from elders, vote of thanks, then prayer to old blessing. The ceremony happened as it has to be happened. It was simple but elegant. It was short but peaceful. One of our relatives even commented it was like a school annual day function. My dad, being a cook by profession, catered the food by his own teeth and provisioned all sweets and traditional foods in a single multi-course meal. This satisfied him with no difficulty at all, and he felt much contented, more than he would have if he arranged a grandiose 3 days wedding for me. The beauty of Maharishi's Reformation marriage method is everyone felt contented and happy. No tensions, no frictions, no anxieties, but all peace and simplicity. To me, everyone with that peaceful mind showered their true blessings from bottom of the heart. Even if would have been customary wedding, people would have engaged in gossiping and in hyper state and may not have blessed us. But here they were calm, engaged, focused, and blessed with true sense. With those sincere and genuine blessings and prayers, good things started appearing in my life. Obtained answers to my answerless questions, embraced a positive transformation. The remarkable part of the transformation is it is very smooth, simple, with no trace of compulsions. On one fine evening soon after our wedding, my husband asked me to get ready to go beach. I got ready with as much enthusiasm that one could have. He stopped in the then headquarters of WCSC Chennai on the Seashore Road, Thiruvanmiyur, excusing himself to return in 5 minutes as he was to buy some books and stickers. I waited at the parking for him, admiring the magnitude of time. After 20 minutes, I am not seeing him returning. I went inside to check on him. I saw him sitting in the meditation hall with his eyes closed. I sat at the corner of the hall and watched him. I was wondering how this man was able to sit calm and meditate for more than 20 minutes. Soon after his meditation, we went to the nearby beach where he asked when I could join Manavala Kalai course. I was baffled initially and I didn't give any good response to him. He insisted me to take at least Kayakalpa so that it could be better for our childbirth. Then I joined Manavalakkalai course months after that and got answers to my childhood questions, which made me to continue my journey towards Vedanta. When I got Diksha, I understood the importance of meditation and why we have to do meditation at evening. The question I had during my school was answered now. by doing meditation at evening would help maintaining low frequency and high energy for another 12 hours. The question I had about 9 planets was answered when I learned Navagraha Davam and understood Rahu and Ketu are magnetic wave parts and different to other planets. Then there was a break in spiritual journey due to family commitments like kids development and relocation due to job. Then I pursued my further studies on Vedatrium and done MA in Yoga for Human Excellence. A few incidents during my studies made me to practice Kayakalpam, meditation and exercise regularly. Quietism helped me for better introspections. Then again, I went to Temple of Consciousness RER for Arulnidhi course. This time, my interest was fully on the Temple of Consciousness and not even think of Monkey Falls. My kids also joined Kayakalpa class and students level lessons and practicing it till date. I am very happy to inform you this. And I got all those wonderful turning points in life. I strongly said that all these are possible due to two things. Mainly, the blessings we garnered at our marriage celebration. Unlike the traditional celebration, friends and relatives who were gathered participated in all the events, including meditation, and blessed us with wholeheartedly. This truest blessings we never get anywhere. These blessings are blessings. This reminds of everyone. The nurse who asked me to chant Valha Valamadan for my mom. I do bless everyone now as I know the power of blessing now. Importantly, where there is a thirst and quest, there is answer and fulfillment. Don't let your questions and unresolved. Introspect, be aware, ask for it, and do whatever you should do. The answers and satisfaction would reach you one day. Please wait for none. Raise your hands. You may or may not get a contented answer by raising your hand in this Zoom meeting, but your questions definitely would get answered one day. Be blessed by the name. Thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Thank you, one and all. Valha Valamadan.
Valga Valamudan. Thank you so much, ma'am. On behalf of all the listeners, we thank you so much for your sharing your experiences with us. Dear participants, now the forum is open for discussion questions. Please click on the raise hand button in your Zoom app to raise your questions to our professor. While you're getting ready with your questions, we have some important announcements to make. Practice Kayakalpa Yoga regularly and improve your immunity system. If not yet learned Kayakalpa Yoga, please visit kayakalpayoga.edu.in. Download the Android app. Recommend it to your friends and relatives to download them. Online foundation course in Sky Yoga and certified courses in Tamil and in English is being organized and conducted by the World Community Service Center, Vision for Wisdom, Aliar. Please visit our website, that is kundaliniyoga.edu.in, for the further details. Please invoke your friends and relatives to join these courses and let everyone get benefited by practicing our simplified Kundalini Yoga. Our monthly journal Anboli is also available in the Android app. Download the Android app from the Android Play Store. Get access to the premium content of Swamiji's speeches. Connect with us on Facebook and YouTube at Sky Yoga TV to listen to all the past speeches of our professors on various aspects of Sky Yoga. Karma Yoga principles of Vedatrium suggest donating 1% of your income to the good causes of the society. Be generous, donate to the World Community Service Center. There are multiple channels to do that. Either you can donate through the Anboli app, or our official website, that is vedatri.edu.in. Just to mention, you would get ATG IT exemption as well for the donations. Now let us move on to the question and answer session. We request you to click on the raise hand button and you can raise your question to our professor, or you can also bless our professor. It seems there are no questions. So thank you, ma'am, for joining us tonight and sharing your experiences with us. We have one question. Radha Ravichandran, ma'am, you can please unmute yourself.
Bye, Vallamadan. Be blessed by the man. That was an excellent speech, ma'am. It was like hearing to a thrilling movie experience. The way you narrated your marriage reformation was excellent. It was like a dream. Of course, we may not have been now going back on memories. I think you will be definitely happy to have had that kind of a marriage.
Thank you.
Yeah, excellent. The way of narration was very good, ma'am. Excellent, ma'am. And actually, one question is, how is your married life? Like, you have the small issues like difference of opinion, fights, all those things, or is it a very ascetic life? I just want to just
Yes. But actually, fighting, you are asking. I can say he's very silent. Okay, there is one side evaluation. I only speak. He will be silent always. So there will be no fighting. So we faced so many problems together. We solved, and we know the technique how to handle the situations, right? So it's simple to move on to the problems, and especially so many spree breakers. That's it.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other questions?
So what would be a suggestion, ma'am? Like if only one person is involved in, what is the difference? If only one person is in Manavalakalai and both are in Manavalakalai, what is the difference?
First, we should bless another people to grab it. That is the one option.
Okay.
Okay. Else, we can move it by our children. It's very easy to grab another one. Children, where if we involve the children, they can easily accept, and automatically, at least by dropping them and picking up them from the classes, yoga classes also, it will be more at least, and the waiting time at the end of the speech, they may get a chance
to change. It was okay, ma'am, because your husband was first in this yoga. Okay. If it had been the other way around, it would have been very difficult to bring him into sky.
Yes,
I think.
Yeah, that's right. I'm also like that. No? I'm also able to get in, and he didn't force me actually, but he insisted me. What is the purpose? But I go and sit in class and simply listening. But I got more valuable things after the 10 years gap. Only I got strong in Vedatriyam. That's it. It's time to we should it's our time also can mention what time they should come. They will definitely come, so we can wait until and bless them till they can come. Hope you.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. It seems tolerance, adjustment, and sacrifice is only medicine. So we'll have the next question from Santana Krishnan sir. Please unmute yourself.
வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
Professor Kavita, wonderful, great, really. I appreciate
Thank you, sir.
your Reformation marriage. Just one point which I wanted to ask you is, how did you influence your children to join? Because nowadays, it's so difficult.
Simple. I did my exercise in their holidays after 8 o'clock. So after they wake up, so they automatically see hours doing exercise and Kaya Kalpam. They will automatically asking me. They will also do some corrections. Actually, one day I do my eye meditation without sitting in Vajrasana. Okay, my daughter asked me, "Why are you sitting in Suhasana and doing the eye exercise?" So she corrected me. So that way, simple. We can saying Valga Valamudan at home, and we asked him to tell Arukapu daily whenever going to school, and after school they are coming to tuition and all. So they used to do that materialistic. They do first in 3rd and 4th standard, but they do it in really they involved in doing this and regularly now. So they voluntarily asked me to join Kaya Kalpa class, and she went and attended, my daughter.
Great. Because these days, it is only convincing the children is not easy.
Yes.
You did a good job. Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for patiently answering our questions and sharing your experiences and very interesting session it was. It's time to express our gratitude to our professor. Kindly all come to meditative state by focusing your minds on the Durya Chakra. Let us bless Professor Uma Shrikant Madam for conducting Shanti meditation. Be blessed by the divine. Her good health, be blessed by the divine. Her loving family, be blessed by the divine. Her divine service, be blessed by the divine. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now let us bless our professor, K. Kavita Madam, be blessed by the divine. Her good health, be blessed by the divine. Her loving family, be blessed by the divine. Her divine service, be blessed by the divine. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us tonight. Keep enlightening us with such more interesting topics. Thank you, ma'am. Giving is not just thank you, ma'am. Giving is not just about making a donation, it is about asking a difference. And giving is the greatest act of the grace. We would like to extend our heartfelt blessings to all the Sky meditators for their generous donations making. We greatly appreciate you for your kindness. By the grace of the divine bliss, may you and your family enjoy good health, long life, enough wealth, peace, prosperity, fame, and wisdom. Be blessed by the divine. Dear friends, we are glad to bring the following online programs live from the Alia Temple of Consciousness tomorrow morning. 5:30 a.m. we will have 9 center meditation in Tamil. 6 a.m. we have exercises in Tamil. 7 a.m. we have 9 center meditation in English. At 11 a.m. we will have speech in Tamil on the topic Jnana Valvu by Senior Professor Veda Subbaya from Coimbatore. Evening programs at 6 p.m. there will be Duryadida meditation in Tamil. 6:30 p.m. there will be re-telecast of the Tamil speech which was given in the morning. By 7:30 p.m. we will have Duryadida meditation in Hindi conducted by Assistant Professor Tara Murli from Delhi. By 8 p.m. we have speech in Hindi on the topic Sex and Spirituality Development by Professor Dr. Bharat Kumar Sharma from New Delhi. Please share this program invite with your friends and relatives. Let everyone take part in the spiritual journey and get benefited. We thank our President, beloved President Arulnidhi Padma Shri S.K.M. Mailanandan sir for his support and guidance. See you all tomorrow with another interesting session in Hindi. Till then, be safe, meditate, and always be peaceful. This is Jamuna Mani from Aliyar World Community Service Center, IT team. Let us conclude the program with the World Blessing Prayer. May the whole world be blessed with the plenty of rain. The farmers work to produce an abundance of grain. Let the practitioners of all trades prosper, flourish, and grow, and culture progress through the need to share and grow. Let the rules beyond feelings of anger or fear, illiteracy, poverty, and all evils made to disappear. Let the true lamp of knowledge burn steady and bright. Our sense of duty guide us along paths always right. Be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine. Have a good night. வாழ்க வளமுடன்.